Hey, can anybody guess where we're at? Remember, I'm gonna try to do the hand sign one more time.
No,
Beep,
don't,
boom, boom.
It's wrong.
Bah.
It's just wrong.
Hey, we are at America's first national monument, which was dedicated in 1906, otherwise known as Devil's Tower.
Yes, Devil's Tower, Wyoming is in the northeast area of Wyoming. I think it's north of Sheridan. The closest city to it is Hewlett.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 10 miles away. So if you do come to visit Devil's Tower, do make sure that you are self-contained, because there is not a gas station or too much of a grocery store or anything like that. So do make sure that you are stocked up.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is, you can probably tell just from the sky, is it's a little hazy out. There are some forest fires going on in Montana, and the smoke is kind of lingering over here in the Wyoming part of the country. And you know, this is a fantastic view. It would be a stunning view if it wasn't quite as hazy, and it would look really crisp and clear. But still, this is really just a really awesome site. One of the things on my bucket list. I'm glad we were able to make it out here.
We are staying at the local, at the closest KOA, which is probably 1,000 feet from the front gate of the national park. So it is rather pricey. I can't really remember what it is. I'll link it, or it'll be right there.
Yeah, we'll link it up. Oops. I will shoot some video at the local KOA, and like Karen was saying, it's probably a little pricey, and I will put the, as I poke my hat here, I will put the price up in the top here about what it costs us per night. But the view from the KOA is pretty breathtaking, and you know, it may not be the best KOA, the best campground around, but the views, I think, are well worth it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't get into the park, if the park campground opens, it is certainly an option. It's the closest option.
All right, Karen and I are going to go take a hike. Hopefully I won't break my ankle. Break an ankle. Karen, look, dust devils at Devil's Tower. Devil's Tower was America's first national monument, being established in 1906 by Theodore Roosevelt. Located in northeastern Wyoming, the park area itself encompasses some 1,347 acres, with the tower itself rising 867 feet from base to summit. So what's the history behind Devil's Tower, and how did it get its name? The Native Americans who lived in the area referred to the geographical wonder as Bear's House or Bear Lodge. There are several different Indian legends surrounding the tower, but the most popular is the story from the Crow Indians. The story from the Crow tells the tale of two little girls who were playing near their village when they were surprised by a large bear that tried to eat them. The girls ran as fast as they could, but the bear was much faster. The Great Spirit, seeing the bear was about to catch the girls, made the rocks grow under the girls' feet and lifted them high into the sky and well out of reach of the bear, despite the bear trying to climb up after them. The bear's claws climbing to grab the girls is what made the long, cavernous cuts down the exterior of the tower. The name Devil's Tower came from an interpreter during an expedition in the late 1800s who translated the Indian words for Bad God's Tower to Devil's Tower. There is great debate amongst the geographical community on exactly how Devil's Tower was formed. Geologists do agree that it was the intrusion of igneous material into the landscape is what formed the actual tower itself. They just can't agree exactly on why the igneous material did what it did, forming the tower. Maybe the Crow Indians were right all along. There are several interesting stories that you may not know about Devil's Tower that are sure to strike up a conversation if you ever decide to visit this scenic monument. The first being that almost every day, weather permitting and with National Park Service passes, climbers scale the side of the tower, going all the way to the top. Oftentimes you can see these climbers with binoculars, including the day that Karen and I were there, but if you want to get a good picture of them, make sure you have yourself a telephoto lens. Second is the story of rogue parachutist George Hopkins. In 1941, before the outbreak of hostilities during World War II, George was a renowned parachutist at the time and decided to prove his theories on precision parachuting. George, with the help of a friend who owned an airplane, flew over the tower, and when they reached the top, they pushed over supplies and a very long rope. George then parachuted out of the plane, coming to a perfect landing right at the top of Devil's Tower. One flaw, however, with his plan was that the rope that he had planned on climbing down on was too short to reach the bottom. Several days later, a volunteer rescue team scaled the tower, rescued George, and brought him back down where he was promptly arrested. But in the end, the story ended on a high note for George. When hostilities broke out between the Axis powers in America starting World War II, George was given the assignment of training American paratroopers in the art of precision parachute landing. It seems his stunt a few months earlier had made quite an impression with American military generals.
Remember, proper body position is the secret of smooth, easy opening operations. Go. That's how badly a novice can do it. Here's an instructor to show you how it ought to be done. He's got a perfect stance. That's tops.
One final thought, though, before we continue on with the park tour, explain to those who were born after 1977, is why is Phil continually bringing up those 5 musical tones over and over again? Well, it only has to do with one of the greatest science fiction movies ever made by Steven Spielberg, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Without spoiling the movie for those who have not seen it, those 5 tones and the Devil's Tower itself play a very key part in the film. The film is such an integral part of the history at the tower that many of the local gift shops sell alien souvenirs. And the local KOA that we stayed at, which is right outside the park, host nightly outdoor showings of the movie with Devil's Tower in the background, which, as corny as it sounds, was one of Karen and I's best parts of the trip. Okay, we're heading off to one of the things that KOA does here is they have evening hay rides, and Karen and I are off to the evening hay ride, which is going to take us into a ranch, and just to give you an idea how close we are to Devil's Tower. Yeah, that's it right there, and that's it on the view from our KOA campground. And then afterwards, we're gonna go watch beep bop boo boo boo. However the hand goes. We're gonna watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is shown nightly, weather permitting, outside at the base here of Devil's Tower at night. So that should be pretty cool. I'm realizing that there's a younger generation may not have seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It is a movie about aliens, and a large portion of it was filmed here at Devil's Tower. But these are good aliens. What are you laughing for? These are good aliens, not the bad aliens, right?
Because you know the difference?
Yes, I do know the difference.
We're friends, yeah. We welcome you. We're friends, yeah.
Ready, Bob? No, but go ahead and open it.
Not those kind of aliens. We don't want the bad aliens, we want the good aliens.
Are you guys from Arizona too?
Yeah, we're
So are we.
We're Gilbert, used to be.
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Well, Phoenix Chandler. Because I spent 10 years in Chandler.
Sold the house.
Alma School and Queen Creek.
We're Val Vista, Williams.
Yeah.
Now, how big is your motorhome?
We got a grand design, 40 feet, a little over 40 feet.
Okay,
Is that
so
a
you're
fifth wheel or trailer?
Fifth wheel.
So,
Oh,
are you guys full time?
will tell you, for $6, that was probably one of the probably top 5 best things I've done so far full-time RVing. We got to see more deer than I've ever seen ever in the wild, and not just does either, but a lot of bucks and some fawns. But yeah, it was just a really great time. I don't know how the videos are going to turn out, because the only downside to it was we didn't stop. I think he was on kind of on a time restriction. He had to get back to the park, so the start of the movie. But it was a little bumpy, a little jumpy. You could certainly carry on a conversation with your people. It was really, really enjoyable. But as far as videography and even still photography, I don't know how good the pictures are going to turn out. I'll have to see when I download everything. So it may jump around, but meantime, Karen is going to head over to the outdoor theater, and we're at the base of Devil's Tower, and we're going to watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I mean, really, how cool is that? I just can't get over how cool that is. Anyways, I'm heading over to get an adult beverage, and I'm gonna get some chips and salsa and some snacks, and we're gonna bring them back, and we're gonna watch Close Encounters. And we're off. The next day, Karen and I decided to take a ride on our electric bicycles over to the park to go check out a local prairie dog town. No, that's not something that Phil Roberts just came up with. They actually are called prairie dog towns. Communities where prairie dogs live at are actually called towns. Along the way, we also ran into a classic car show that was going on in the front parking lot of the KOA. But this video will give you a perspective on just how close the entrance is to the park itself.
Five minutes later.
Okay, so we did our bike ride out to Prairie Dog Town this morning, and we are now day 2 back at the actual monument site, which actually is probably the clearest day we've had so far because of the smoke from the forest fires. But we're gonna go walk the base of Devil's Tower. We are here and we're following the red all the way around Devil's Tower. Looks like it's 1.3 miles. Hey, Karen and I really hope you enjoyed this video on Devil's Tower National Monument. It really was a neat place to go and was absolutely one of the locations on my bucket list. If you enjoyed this video or some of our other videos, please consider subscribing on YouTube. It's completely free, doesn't cost you any money at all, and it really helps Karen and I continue on with our journey. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where you get more real-time updates on what Blue Line RV Adventures is up to. We're going to leave you now with some of our favorite photographs and videos from Devil's Tower. And remember, at Blue Line RV Adventures, we got your six.